And when we do hear that pop, it's gonna send a lot of people into a panic.
Your face would more be like,
I don't think this love for me. I don't think you the one for me.
Squid Games, I could easily survive. I don't think it's very easy, but let's see what he's talking about, baby.
So I just finished a new season of Squid Game. For the record, 7.8 out of 10, not too bad. But as I was watching this new season, my mind couldn't help but wander. I couldn't help but think, what if Squid Game was real? What if I lived in South Korea? What if I was in Squid Game?
I'm doing anything that I have to do to survive, buddy. It's GG's. I don't care. Anybody's son, daughter, grandmother, I'm sorry. It's not happening.
That's exactly what we'll be going over today. Today, ladies and gentlemen, instead of an action movie, horror movie, or horror game, I'll be going over how I would survive every single game in Squid Game. Yeah, the series is back for like the sixth time or something. I don't know. Giving you my strategy, my game plan, my thought process. However,
I feel like most of it is luck though. You're just gonna go in here, they're gonna say something that needs to be done. Maybe you're strong at that, maybe you're not. And if you're not, well, GG's, buddy. It's over. You're gone.
Rules for this one. I have to go into these games clueless. I have no insider info. I'm not smart enough to predict the games. Nothing. So in short, I have not played these games before. And the first game I'll be starting with is
I think I'm surviving red light, green light, no questions, baby. I used to be the red light, green light king. No, I wasn't. I remember when I was playing red light, green light with my cousins in the driveway one time, I fell and I scraped the shit out of my knee and I got in trouble directly afterwards. Bro, oh, that's the day that I found out how much alcohol, like peroxide, hurts, bro. That was like the first day. Maybe that's why I remember it so clearly.
You guys know the game, the most iconic one from the show, the first one they played, and we all played it growing up. This one is probably the easiest of the games I'm gonna go over in this video.
Hell
all we
yeah.
gotta do is make it across the field before the timer ends and stop every time the doll says to. Pretty easy. Even having it be a huge doll repeating a track makes it so much easier, especially compared to the friends I grew up playing this game with, because there used to be some cheaters.
Yo,
but it's not all
cheaters, bro. Every single time it was like green light, red light, green light. You're cheating, dog. You can't just immediately do that. That's not fair.
There are some challenges, some obstacles I gotta take into consideration when doing this one. Firstly, the initial shock. Obviously, at some point during the game, someone's gonna goof around and move. Maybe they tripped, wanted to check the time, had to scratch their ball, something. All I know is someone gonna move and we gonna hear a pop. And when we do hear that pop, it's gonna send a lot of people into a panic.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's probably the most dangerous thing, is hearing that first pop, not knowing what's going on. That's the moment that most people would end up dying, because that initial flinch, you're just gonna be like, what the fuck just happened, dog? Obviously, you wouldn't be laughing. Your face would more be like you're gonna be uncontrollably shaking.
Which begs the question, how much movement is considered movement? Obviously, I know I'm not allowed to go into a full sprint when it's red like the people who just ran away. But what I'm asking is, when the first elimination happens and some people get scared, what's the difference between me shaking nervously like this girl who got popped and me straight up flinching like the sun did? Not saying I'm gonna do either. I'm not no scaredy cat. I'm just saying it might get cold, I might shiver. I'm just trying to play it safe. Second thing to take into consideration, the people around me. In this game, you're literally playing with 455 other people who are all competing for money. And these people,
if you think about it in that light, your percentage of you being the person who might win is very slim, okay? I'm gonna give myself, maybe, if we're being realistic, first round, I'm 100% winning red light, green light. I'm not gonna lie. Fuck that, bro. I'm going back line. I'm staying right behind people. I don't care. I'm using meat shields. Don't care.
I'll tell you, this ain't like grabbing your average Joe Schmo off the street and telling them to compete. No. These people are poor. I'm not even being mean. They're broker than broke.
Yeah,
they're
in
debt. Imagine Haiti. Yeah, whether it was their parlays weren't hitting, that hot 2 coin pump and dump, or a few bad decisions led up to them even that fent, it don't matter how they became broke. They got slapped to be here. And again, we are competing for money. People who aren't in this much debt are already out here doing some strange things for money. So best believe amongst these 455 people, some of them are definitely going to be willing to do some egregious things for that cheese. Meaning in this situation, I gotta see every single one of them as an op. Except 222 and 149.
Yeah, and what he was just about to say, no, they're ops too. Everybody in this bitch is an op, dog. If there's only one person who's gonna survive this, it's me. I don't have no feelings for nobody. I'm doing whatever I have to do to survive. Everybody hated the main character's friend from college or high school. Everybody hated that boy. He was moving right though. If you really think about it, he was moving, you know, how anybody would if you're trying to survive.
Nah, everyone else though, I'm assuming they out to get me. So immediately after the initial shock, first thing I'm gonna do is stay at the very back of the group and all the way to the far left side. That way no one could push me from behind, and I also have someone in front of me to cover any potential shivering I might do from the cold. And the good thing about this is this also puts me in a position to attack. Maybe I decide I really want that money. For what reason? I don't know. I'm a grown man. I got bills to pay, manga to buy. I don't know. I need the money. And thankfully, this strategy puts me in a position to do a little shoving, a little pushing, maybe even pull out the forbidden move. Psst. Yo, that girl to your right said you're cute. I'ma do what I need to do, because red light, green light, I'm bodying this one. Now the second game, that might be a little more tricky.
Oh my God. Bro, if I got caught with that umbrella, I'm not even trying, to be honest. I'm gonna just eat the cookie. That shit's my last meal. I'm not making it.
No, in this one, the people playing gotta select one of the 4 shapes on the wall: triangle, circle, star, and umbrella. And once they do, the shape ends up being the one they have to cut out of a cookie. And while some of you may now be thinking, Derek, that sounds way easier than the first one. What were you talking about? How about you let me finish? The catch is with this one, the cookies in this game are like my heart, easy to break. And as you can guess, once the cookies are broken, you get the usual pop like the last game. You understand now? This is why
I'm kind of thinking about it right now, and honestly, I am the type of person that would have went to go get the umbrella just to be like different. And that's what makes it even scarier, because I just know my dumb ass would be cooked immediately.
Oh, you should have listened. Now, I'll be honest, this one has to be one of the most terrifying ones in the entire series. Like, if you played the Roblox version of this one in Shrimp Game, then you know how scary it can get. That game is unironically the closest we'll get to feeling the terror those characters feel in the show. You'll be carving out your slightly cracked cookie, and then the next second hear little Timmy next to you. No, please, I want my mom. So when I'm in this one, my nerves gonna be at an all-time high. But before we figure out how to get around this one, first we gotta figure out which shape am I gonna get. Obviously the hardest shapes are the star and the umbrella, so it'd be better if I choose the triangle or the circle. But walking into this game, I wouldn't know I'm about to cut a cookie, just like the characters in the show, except Sangwoo. And if I walk into a random room and see 4 shapes on a wall, I'm gonna be honest, triangle and circle are the ones I'm least likely to choose. Circles are too
they're just boring. They're just boring shapes. You look at it, you're like, that's too normal. Let's go with the umbrella. Next thing you know, you have to carve it out with the needle. Good luck. Don't let it crack. Don't let it crack. This bullet's gonna crack your skull.
Perfect, I could never draw them. And triangles? Come on, bruh. I ain't Illuminatis. So in a real life situation, I'm probably choosing one of the harder ones. Most likely, the star. Staryu and Starmie were some of my favorite Pokemons growing up, so it's fitting. Now that I have my cookie, it's time to find a way to cut it. As some of y'all know, to get around the brittleness of the cookie, Jihad, after sweating from being so nervous, discovered a trick. He found out he could use his saliva as some sort of softener for the cookie in order to cut out his shape more easily. And I gotta give him his flowers, because in this situation, I'm not coming up with this. Look, I may love sweets, but the last thing I'm gonna be thinking about in a life or death situation is licking a cookie. I'm not Rod Wave. So that strat is off the table, meaning I gotta do it the old fashioned way, which may seem more challenging to the average person, but let me give y'all a little tidbit of knowledge about myself. Before I dreamt about being a YouTuber, I actually wanted to be an artist. And I don't mean a singer or a rapper, I mean a Picasso, a Vincent Van Gogh, a Leonardo DiCaprio. Check out the art, check out the art. And as you can tell, I was super talented.
Let's be fair, when we're analyzing this art, the bodies kind of look a little clean. I don't know what the hell going on with this dude's arm. Maybe he beat his dick with this arm. So
regardless of how much pee I got running down my leg, my hand's gonna be as steady as a pole. And steady enough to cut the shape without having to do any of that licking. Pause. So I'm cutting that shape out easily. How am I supposed to prove that to you? Well, all right, as you guys can see here, we have our cookie looking real clean, looking real nice. As you guys can also tell that there was a test cookie. I ain't gonna stall too much. Let's get straight into it. All right. Someone start that timer. Y'all rocking with the South Park BJs? 3, 2, 1.
He's doing it one-handed, bro. He's not completing it.
A little harder than I thought. A little harder than I thought.
Bro broke it immediately. I wonder if it genuinely broke on its own or he meant for that to happen.
Unlike the other two games, this is the first one where I have to work with a team. The game is simple, tug of war. Y'all know there's a rope, both teams pull. One
tug of war would get me tight. If I wasn't on the right team and somebody on my team was like a weak little bitch, I would tell them, if you do not cooperate and get this rope to our side, I promise you, on the way of us dying, I'm going to kill you myself. Like, I'm going to grab you midair by the throat and just make sure that you land before I do. You stupid bitch. Put on some muscles. Come on, let's do it.
Team loses. Very simple stuff. But since it's Squid Game, instead of falling into a pit full of mud or just falling over onto some grass, in this game, you free fall into some concrete. So we don't want to lose this one. And we won't. This one is light. All I gotta do is do what most of the winning teams did and pick a team with the strongest people there. And that's it. I most likely won. The only obstacle here is literally if the other team had the main character on their side and they start pulling out that reverse Michael Jackson lead. That's gonna be tough to beat.
How many games are there that you need a team of 10 people? Like, are we playing paint? Even if we were playing paintball, I want some strong, manly looking dudes on my team. For 10 people games, dude, there's not many games that need 10 people.
Bonus points if the other team is full of old and starving people. That'll be a landslide victory.
Oh, the lights
Before we
out.
continue to the next game though, around this time is when the game makers decide there's a lot of people left. A little too many. So they decide to turn off the lights. I know this isn't a game per se, but it's happened in both seasons, so I'm included.
Gordon said, I know you couldn't be the end, they couldn't move you. Yeah, probably. I'd probably be a good pick for the end.
Once the lights are turned off, the dorm the contestants sleep in becomes a bloodbath. Pretty much a huge free-for-all. And I'm not gonna hold you, this one may have me a little startled. I mean, these folks are dropping like flies. But although I'm a little scared, I'm making it through the night. Listen, I've played hella shooters and I've seen Revenge of the Sith, so I know how important high ground is in a situation like this. And that's why my strategy for this one is to go to one of them top bunks like the old man did. I don't know how he got up there to this day. And if
I don't even think that my strategy would be to like hit the top bunk. And the reason that I say that is because what if somebody just decides to push all the beds over and now you're falling like 15 feet from the air and just landing on your neck? Like, I'm not going for it. My plan, personally, I'm grabbing some bed sheets, I'm wrapping it around my arms, like I'm getting, I don't want to say the word, but I'm getting something ready to, you know, the tensions are high. People are about to start dropping, brother. No, it's not gonna be me.
If anyone tries to come up, they getting kicked, spat on, pushed. Tell Thanos back up. I keep my forks on me. I just know in this situation, I'm defending myself and the people I care about. Unlike Player 125.
Bro.
You know, in real life, I rarely get mad. Someone could bump into me, accidentally step on my shoe. I've been cursed out by crackheads on the regular. But when I was laying on my couch watching this scene, oh my goodness. I almost went Super Saiyan. You are the biggest scaredy cat. The biggest coward. The biggest
Paltroon.
I thought it. You thought it. We all thought this dude, after missing that bottle throw, was really about to jump from the top rope and RKO this dude.
Bro, I swear. As soon as he missed that bottle throw, I thought that he was coming straight from the top rope, like, get off my friend. But he really just let her die. In that moment, that woman was the only person looking out for him the entire game. I think I would have broken my shoulder and elbow from just straight. And look, me jumping on top of you from that height, you're not making it out alive. I'm a meteor.
We were all wrong. He just sat there and watched. You know, before us, there was 2 characters that I hated in this series. But you just made it a top 3 because I hate you. At least when Sang-Woo killed people or let people die, you know he was doing it for the money, for the end goal, for the vision. There was motive. It made sense. But you disgust.
You're just a bitch.
Anyways, where was I? I have a fork, Thanos.
Bro, this gotta be the worst game inside of the entire Squid Games. This is just not, I'm not doing this. This one is probably where I would die at.
Two, y'all know it, the one with them saying hot door, hot door, hot. And it's another one where I have to work with a team. Boo. Yeah, I know. But in this one, instead of one game together, you and your teammates play 5 mini games separately. Well, as separate as you can be when your legs are tied together. That's right. Not only are we playing multiple games in this one, but this is also a 6-legged race. We all remember how difficult and annoying the 3-legged race used to be when we were younger. You got some dude slowing you down the whole time. That was usually me. So this one being double the legs and quadruple the people holding you back makes it at least 2 times harder. The 5 mini games we play in this one are Dakji, Stone Toss, Gongi, Spin the Top, and Jeggy. And thankfully, as a team, we at the very least get to decide who plays what. And
I think maybe I could do Spin the Top. If not Spin the Top, it would have to be the rock throw. Those are the only 2 that I could possibly do. I'm not doing any of the other 3.
See, I can do any of the games. It don't really matter. But give me Stone Toss. I'll take Stone Toss.
Yeah,
you know, I used to play baseball back in like 09. Check out the trophy. And when it comes to throwing, I got it. Except when it comes to throwing the game. After we decide which game I'm gonna do, it really just depends on my team. And if I had to make one, this would be the dream team. I do 120 Hyunju for Motivation and Jeggy, me on Stone Toss, 222 on Dakji, gotta protect her, 149 on Gongi. Now I know Daeho is better at it, but come on, bruh. That's Granny. We gotta make sure she's good. And finally, the final member, the front man for the spinning top game. And cause I'm gonna need someone to hype me up when we win. I don't see a single flaw in this team. So the pentathlon, we're bodying that.
I don't think that he's remembering that the front man literally tried to throw the game. Like, he almost threw the entire game. Anybody but him, genuinely. Hey!
Probably the most popular games.
I loved Mingle. Yo, Mingle is the shit, and I'm winning that 100%, no cap. In this situation, if I have to trip somebody and take their place, I'm gonna trip somebody and take their place. I'm not losing. I will do whatever I have to do in this situation to not die. Survival instincts kick in immediately. If you tell me that you wouldn't do it, you're lying.
It's the original red light, green light, and it's also the most chaotic. We all sit on a spinning carousel that eventually stops, and when it does, the announcer says the number that me and some participants would have to fill a room within 30 seconds. That is not a lot of time. The number of people in the room has to be the exact number. Can't be too high or too low, because if it is, you get popped. And what happens if you don't make it into a room? Well,
GG's.
Now, I've seen a lot of people on the internet say they're dying in this. It's too chaotic, too much going on. You need social skills to beat it. But the only reason they say that is because they're going about it all wrong. While most people are worried about making alliances and trying to go into groups before the room start filling up, you go with him, I'll go with her.
Yeah, nah.
Forget that.
I don't think that you should be trying to make alliances in this game whatsoever. I feel like the first time that you see the number on the floor, you throw up, I need 4. And then 4 people will immediately round up on you. You go. You come out the room. You stay next to those people. If it says 3, I need 3. Go. Like, you don't try and make a built-in alliance, because at the end of the day, only one of you are surviving. What are we doing making friends? They should be fake friends. Nothing more. I sound like an asshole when I say this, but you need to put yourself first. There is no putting anybody else above you. Am I an asshole? A little bit.
Don't worry about me. My number 1 priority in this one is getting into a room on my own. Like I said earlier, I don't trust anybody here. I ain't trying to get left behind like the shaman, and I ain't trying to have Thanos hit me with the "you out, let's go." So I'm gonna avoid that whole group stuff entirely. And since I'm on my own, I don't gotta deal with the burden of having social skills to team up with people. Now you're probably like, what do you mean? The whole point of the game is to get into groups. How are you supposed to win? I got this. Don't worry. Let's say the announcer yells out 10. All I gotta do is look around the carousel for a group that has that exact number and follow them. I'll trail behind them as they search for a room, and right before they go in, I'll pull a player 51 and tackle the last one out the way. Then I'll pull a 333, lock the door, and secure my spot as number 10 instead of them. It's gonna be like the Uni scene all over again, but I made it, so I'm sorry, 120. Oh, but what if they're too big for you to tackle them? Simple. While I'm trailing behind the last one, all I gotta do is pull a,
Is that the band New Jeans right behind us all of a sudden, right now, right behind us?
and at least one of them last dudes definitely gonna turn around. And I don't blame them. How sweet is a vibe? Then I just repeat that strat for 4 more rounds, and that's mingle. Only thing that can stop me here is if I get in the whole, hey, I was here first situation with like the front man or 120. I'm probably not gonna be able to do much with a snap neck.
Facts, bro. The marbles. Oh, the worst one of them all. You're choosing the person that you are the closest with. You're not choosing somebody that you despise. Immediately is GG's. How I would survive though? Probably gonna pull what that other guy did. I'm probably just gonna try and steal the other person's marbles without them realizing it. Unless it was like my wife, right? If it was my wife, we would have to sit there and have a conversation for the time. But by the end of the time, it'd be like, all right, don't die. Like you better win. And then I would just do it. I would just lose. I can't let my wife die.
This is another difficult one, but not in the same way the cookie one was. Not at all. In this one, just like the last one, we're on teams, specifically teams of 2. So you gotta make sure you get with someone you trust. The goal of the game is to play mini games, and if you're choosing, that lead to your team eventually taking all of the opposing team's marbles. Pretty easy, doesn't seem too bad, right? But the catch is with this one, instead of another pair of people being your opposition, your partner is your opposition. Ah, come on. This is by far the saddest Squid game of them all. I remember watching this episode for the first time back in Big 21, and it literally ruined my whole day.
It really did, and I really hope that they don't do another version of this tomorrow. I think I did cry when I first watched the marbles game, but then when I finished the show, oh my fucking goodness, did I want to rip the old man's head straight off of his neck, take his nuts, shove it in his mouth, and then call him a fucking puss. Bro, I was so mad. I was so mad.
It was the dude who played with his wife, Ji-hun and the old man, Ji-young and Sae-byuk, Sagu and Ali. It was just too much. These characters spent so much time together just for them to have to practically kill each other. It was just all too much.
Terrible.
Ali. And if it hurt this much as a viewer, it's gonna be even worse when I'm in the game. Cause my partner gonna be somebody that I rock with. 149.
No,
You gotta go, my girl. You go.
She gotta go. I'm sorry. You see what I'm saying though? If it's anybody besides my wife, you gotta go. Kenny, bro, me and Kenny have actually had this conversation that if we were in Squid Games, like what would we do? And we just kept it a bean with each other. I love Kenny. I love Kenny like he's my blood brother. Let the strongest survive. That's just what it is. Wild take. It might be, but fuck it. I don't care.
Gonna be hard to work up the courage, but we gotta play. I ain't trying to die. I know it's messed up, but we gonna have to fleece Granny out her marbles. And since the game is up to us, I'm thinking of a game that requires some steadiness of the hands, like that one throwing game that 101 played, or Jenga. We're gonna have to see if they got that. Either way, Granny's arthritis gonna get the best of her, and they gonna have to pack her up. It's gonna hurt, but hey, on the bright side, I won, and I still got 222.
Glass
This
Bridge.
is definitely the
Glass Bridge is one of those games that you have to be in the very back. And even if you are in the very back, if everybody's being a vagina in the front, you might still lose.
hardest one I've faced yet. Y'all know how it works. We gotta make it across this glass bridge under a certain amount of time, but for every safe tile there is, there's an identical unsafe tile right next to it. So pretty much every tile you jump on is a coin toss. And there's 18 jumps. Y'all can do the math on that, but I don't think we all making it. And the hard part about this one is not even the low chance of you surviving. It's the low chance of anyone even going. I played this game on Fortnite and on Roblox, and no one ever goes. Maybe sometimes on Roblox, those are practically toddlers playing, but most of the time, these dudes be so stubborn that they won't even move a millimeter unless someone else does first. And I would know. I'm one of those dudes. And it's gonna be the...
Yeah, because you don't want to die. I completely understand that. I would honestly, if somebody isn't going and it's me and them, I'm probably pushing them. I'm not gonna lie. I will run straight into them because either you're gonna jump to another tile or we're both gonna fall and die. I don't care.
The same thing in real life. I ain't letting no one capitalize off my sacrifice. So this people not wanting to go thing is definitely going to be an obstacle. On top of that though, I didn't mention this earlier because I didn't think it was gonna be important to bring up, but now it feels relevant. Guys, let's remember, this show takes place in South Korea. Everyone here is Korean, and I am not. What if they're racist? If they're willing to take out each other to win, what do you think they're gonna do to the brown one? I pray they aren't, man. It's gonna feel like I'm back in one of them old stereotypical Korean shops. But instead of the usual hurry up and buy, I'm here. Hurry up and die. All right, in all seriousness with this one.
That's fucking racist. He's doing exactly what he just said by being fucking racist. It's funny though. Can't cancel him over that.
Only thing that can really save me here is the order. If I'm dead last, maybe I might be able to make it if the people ahead of me get enough tiles right. But if I'm first, right, buddy. I already said earlier I'm not moving, so y'all can clear a path, or I guess we all gonna die.
I would never pick number 1 though. If you have already gone through all of these games just to go and pick number 1 at the start of the next game, you're an idiot. You already know that people have been dying left and right. Why would you volunteer to be the first subject in the next game? Let's use our brains a little bit.
The final game, the most dramatic game, and the most intimate game of them all, because it's a 1v1. In this one, there's a defense and an offense. The offense's goal is to make it to the top of the squid, while the defense has to stop the offense from making it by pushing them out the square. And if neither player wants to do all that, well, you can kill the other guy. You know, this one isn't too shabby. Yeah, the other person against me might be trying to kill me the whole time, but I don't gotta kill them. Technically, if I'm on offense, all I gotta do is hit him with a little, hey, where you going? Juke moves and get to the top of the squid. And if I'm on defense, all I gotta do is push them out the square. How am I gonna do that? Simple, just knock them out. Y'all don't even know how deadly my right hook could get. Like, listen to this. That was just a jab. So for the final game, Squid Game, would I survive it? 1000%. Don't matter who's in front of me. This one is for all the marbles. No pun intended. It could be the front man. It could be Jihan. It could even be Legend Thanos. I told you I keep that fork on me, bro. Back up. Point is, whoever's in front of me, they get it at work. They get in juke. They getting pushed out. It don't matter.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even attempting to play the game. I'm gonna get to the point where I'm in the square and then I have to run past them. I'm just gonna fight to the death. I'm not playing the game. Once I get past him and I go into the head, he's got the advantage of being behind me with a weapon. I'm just fighting to the death. It's not happening, dude.
At the end of the day, I'm winning the Squid Game.
Yeah, I'm winning that shit.
Probably. It depends on which games we play and what the games are in season 3. And also if my opponent is 2-2-2. I can't kill her. That was pretty much all the Squid Game games I could go over today. Comment down below any of the ones you guys think I was wrong or right about.
Bro, I think that this was a great video. Shout out Derek FDB. I actually have more videos that I want to watch by him. But yeah, at the end of the day, the probability of survival, bud, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'll be a piece of shit if I was in Squid Games. I'm doing anything to survive.
I don't think this love for me. I don't think you the one for me. I don't think you see me when you fucking up all in your dreams. I don't think you got trust for me. Just ain't what I